Hi students, I'm Jeff, and today's grammar topic is modals used for advisability. These modals are should, ought to, and had better. So let's look at these in detail and compare them. Part A. Should. This is used to make suggestions and to talk about responsibilities and duties. Number 1. Margaret looks sick and weak. She really should see a doctor. 2. Parents should make sure their children get good nutrition and a good education. 3. Police officers shouldn't take bribes. Part B. Ought to. This means the same as should. However, it is used less often in negative and question forms, as it is a little awkward. 4. Jamal ought to take a vacation. He works too hard. And note that to must be used with ought in the positive form. 5. Managers ought to make sure they fully support their employees. 6. Children ought not be disrespectful to their parents, or oughtn't be. Note that in the negative form of ought, to can be dropped, and it often is. C. Had better. This is stronger than should and ought to, but weaker than have to or must. It is used to indicate the possibility of negative consequences if advice is not followed. And it is used to indicate potential, present, or future problems. The base form of verbs is used after had better. 7. Lisa had better stop drinking and driving, or she will kill someone. 8. You'd better stop being rude to your boss, or you'll get fired. Number 9. We better leave before it starts to rain. This is very informal. Notice that we just have the word better. The word had has been completely dropped. We don't even have a contraction. This is very common, but you should avoid it because it's not correct. Note that sometimes should / ought to and had better can be used interchangeably. That is, when the meaning is a strong suggestion or advisability. The only difference would be how strong you want to make the idea. For example, number 10. Renee should quit smoking or she might get cancer. Renee ought to quit smoking or she might get cancer. Renee had better quit smoking or she might get cancer. Alright, pause the video. Review the material if you need to. Do the exercise and then come back so we can go over the answers together. Alright, let's look at the answers. As you know, in some cases, more than one answer is possible. Number 1. Hey, how are you two doing? We actually made it. You remember Randy, right? And I should introduce you to a friend we made on the road. This is Heath. And this is Nathan and Natasha Nation. Or ought to. 2. Of course we remember Randy. How could we forget him after all of the crazy things we did together in college? Well, we ought to let you guys in. It's chilly outside. Or should, or had better. 3. So Heath, you just met these guys? I don't know how well you know them, but you'd better be careful. They like to pull pranks. Or should or ought to. 4. Hey, be nice, Natasha. You're gonna scare the guy. I guess we'd better take our shoes off so that we don't make a mess. Or should or ought to. 5. Thanks, I'd appreciate that. Though we ought to tell you that we've got 3 kids, 2 cats, and a dog, so this place is always messy. Or should. 6. I hope it's not a problem having me here. We should have called ahead and told you. Or ought to. 7. Oh, don't be silly. Well, we should get cleaned up. Dinner's almost ready. Natasha's making beef stew. It smells good, doesn't it? Or ought to, or had better. 8. Should we get our stuff out of the car now, or wait until after dinner? 9. Oh, I'm just about to dish up the food, so you ought to grab a seat. I hope you're hungry. Or should, or had better. And 10. Now that I think about it, Roderick, you had better not leave your car on the street. It might get vandalized, or you might get a ticket. You can pull it in the driveway. It'll be safe there. Or should, or ought. Alright, be sure to let me know how you did during our lesson, or leave comments or questions in the box below. Thanks for watching, and take care.